Hey there, Bulldog Nation. This is Hailey Tucker, and I'm sitting down with head rodeo coach Mike Visnieski. Coach, you're headed into the second part of your season after taking quite a bit of a break. Can you tell me how your team has performed since coming back to action?
They've really performed well this year. Both men's and women's teams are sitting third in the region, and it's really tight between the top four teams, both in men's and women's. So it's really good competition this year. I'm really tickled on how they perform. They really prepare themselves well, and it's going good so far.
Yeah, and you talked about your teams are both currently ranked in third place in the Central Plains region. What do you think your teams need to do to get bumped up in those standings?
Well, our main challenge this year is keeping everybody healthy, and we've lost a few to injuries or have had some out because of injuries. So they've been a really strong group as far as performing with with that in mind. So all we can do is just keep doing what we're doing, just execute, do the best job that we can do with what we have.
Yeah, and then you're headed to Garden City this weekend, which is your first event in 4 weeks. What do you plan on doing at that event?
Same thing, we want to go up there with the mindset of, man, we're having fun, and we're just going to do the best job that we can do.
Yeah, well, great. And then I know coaches usually don't like this question, but any individuals who you want to see compete this weekend? Any of your individuals that you are excited to watch this weekend?
Oh yeah, and I'm excited to watch them all. We've had some people that that have been pretty hot. Sloan Smith and Alex Phelps in the team roping. They've been really consistent this year. Nathan Hatchell in the bull riding and Nick Chenault in the bronc riding probably have been the most consistent as far as our men's team. Stacy Bailey's been really consistent. Rachel Posey in the barrel racing. So, but yeah, I'm excited for all of them. It's neat to watch one of them just really step up. And so anyway, we're looking for good things.
Mm-hmm. And then next weekend is the 45th Annual SWOSU Rodeo. How excited are you to see all your student athletes perform in front of the home crowd?
Our rodeo, I always love our rodeo. I really, I get pretty busy during that, during the performances and whatnot. So I kind of get to step back and really watch them instead of being right beside them. So it's a different perspective. It's really exciting, and they're always ready to perform well in front of our hometown crowd. Mm-hmm. So they're excited as well. Yeah,
and then do you have, as a coach, any event that you like watching the most?
Not really. I'm not very biased. I was a rough stock guy, so I always like that. Benny Butler, the Butler and Son Rodeo Company, will have some really good broncs and good bulls there. So that's always fun. The bareback riding and the bronc riding at our rodeo is pretty enjoyable to watch. But all around, I love it all.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm a basketball player, so I'm not used to watching all of the bronc riding and everything. So how intimidating is it for a bronc rider to, before they go to the event, think, oh my gosh, I could possibly get hurt doing this? You know what I mean? Like, what goes through a bull rider's head or a bronc rider's head before that?
Well, I would say the champions, they are focused on, their goals and what they want to get done. If it's a distraction to think of, oh, I might get hurt or whatever, that does go through a lot of people's minds. But, that's the challenge of the mental game. So, with the mindset, it's just like, hey, we're having fun. We know what we want to do. We're going to do our best to execute that and, have a good time. So.
Yeah. And then one last question. With practice, how do you practice that? How do they, I know they probably don't do it every single day, of course, because that would be extremely dangerous, but how do they practice that in terms of getting their time and everything like that?
Well, you can practice, a lot of different ways. The people that rope and more like the timed events, they can get more repetitions in than a rough stock guy as far as on, live animals. So, when a bull rider or a bronc rider practices, we usually have one rough stock practice a week, and they may get on 1 to 5 animals.
Yeah.
Normally about 3 animals, typically is good. But we do have some equipment, and so it's just like we got to get a lot of reps. We really want to try to get those as perfect as we can on the equipment, and then transfer it into the arena on a bucking horse or a bull.
Yeah.
And then so, the mental game with, hey, I have a 1,500 pound plus animal underneath me that doesn't have a stop button.
Yeah.
And, and so it's, but they got to treat that, if they're thinking about that, it's going to be real challenging for them. If they're trying to, execute their mechanics that they've been practicing, and that's what they're focused on, and they have a clear mind, and they're going to get better every time. So that's what we try to do as far as our rough spot practice.
Goes with the saying, practice makes perfect. So, okay, thank you, Coach, for taking the time to sit down with us. And I'm Hailey Tucker for SWOSU Athletics, and get out to the Don Mitchell Arena this next weekend to support your Bulldogs in the 45th Annual SWOSU Rodeo.